A German Muslim claims that there is no problem with anti-Semitism among Muslims. Is that correct? We will now hear Suhaib Hoffmann, a German Muslim. His video was made in May 2021, when the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians escalated again. Let's listen to it.
Ich denke, ich brauche nicht zu erwähnen, wo wir momentan mit unserem Kopf und mit unseren Herzen sind. Das ist selbstverständlich bei unseren Geschwistern in Palästina, unseren Geschwistern im Gaza. Möge Allah subhanahu sie beschützen, möge Allah subhanahu ihnen die höchste Stufe im Paradies geben.
So far, I can somehow understand him. He is worried about the Muslims in Palestine. But there is more.
Immer dann, wenn wir uns in irgendeiner Form dem gegenüber äußern, was passiert? Wir werden sofort mit Antisemitismus in Verbindung gebracht. Sofort wird die Antisemitismuskeule geschwungen. Wir Muslime haben kein Antisemitismusproblem. Das ist nicht unsere Geschichte. Das ist nicht unsere Problematik.
Ah, so Muslims have no problem with anti-Semitism. That can be doubted. And really, you don't have to search online for long to find evidence to the contrary. Here he is again, our old friend Dr. Al-Qaradawi. I mean this one here, number 9 on the list of the most influential Muslims in 2009. He said this in a sermon.
الله سلط عليهم طوال التاريخ من يؤدبهم نتيجة إفسادهم. آخر تأديب كان تأديب هتلر، ما فعل بهم وإن كان مبالغوا في الأمر ما بلغوا، ولكن استطاع أن يوقفهم عند حدودهم، وكان هذا أدبا إلهيا، تأديبا إلهيا، عقابا قدريا لهؤلاء.
Ah, so he likes what Hitler did to the Jews and thinks it was a divine punishment. Here you can already see that this is not about the state of Israel or the current conflict. It is about Jews in general. Because at the time of Hitler, the state of Israel did not exist at all. Nor is this about other conflicts that Jews might have had with Muslims. Because the extermination campaign against Jews, the so-called final solution, only affected those Jews Hitler had access to, meaning Jews in Europe, not in the Middle East.
والمرة القادمة إن شاء الله ستكون على أيدي المؤمنين.
Yes, and then he also wishes that the next extermination campaign against Jews would then be carried out by Muslims. Honestly, that does not look like no problem with anti-Semitism. What do you think? So now you could say, well, Al-Qaradawi comes from Egypt and lives in Qatar. Things are a little different over there. First of all, that would not be an excuse for this man's fantasies of mass murder. But let's take a look at this one. Imam Kathrada, who lives in Canada. Here are excerpts from his speech on May the 21st, 2021, at the Islamic Center in Victoria, Canada.
And why is it that I'm saying and driving this point home that this is a religious issue? It's because we find many who are speaking about this today restricting it to being a political issue. Or when they speak of Al-Aqsa, they are now making it sound as though this is merely a human rights issue, a humanitarian issue. No. Rest assured that it is based on religion, religious grounds. Again, this animosity of the Yahud towards the believers is based on religious grounds, meaning that the reason behind it is their disbelief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and their denying of the prophets or rejection of the prophets.
He says very clearly that it is not a political problem or a humanitarian issue. He claims that there is a general hostility among Jews against Muslims for religious reasons. And where did he get this knowledge from? From the Quran, and not from the observation of real Jewish people of our time. Because he partly speaks Arabic, however, I cannot understand everything. Take a look at the original video. The link is in the description.
And also the animosity of the believers towards the Yahud is based on religious grounds. Because the people of Iman, the people of faith, hate the Yahud because of their disbelief in Allah and because of their rejection and denial of the prophets and because of their injustice towards the people and because of their spreading corruption throughout the land.
Quite clearly, he says that Muslims hate Jews for religious reasons. After all, the Jews do not believe in Allah and they reject the prophets. Really, these Jews actually dare not to believe in your religion? You have to hate them then? Clearly, he is serious about that. They are also unjust, whatever he means by that. And supposedly they are spreading corruption in the land. This reminds us of Quran, Surah 5, verse 33. I would rather not read this text out loud and just show it in 4 different translations. Just read for yourself. Numerous Islamic scholars interpret this to mean that it is not only about violent criminals, but also about people who use words to oppose Islam. Hence, this is a very popular allegation. Here, for example, Al-Qaradawi uses this same accusation against apostate prophet, an ex-Muslim and critic of Islam with a successful YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's a reason why there's a capital punishment. Because people like you, little weaklings, who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt, and we're proud of that, yeah? Because if you're going to cause corruption in the land, that's going to cause more damage to the society as a whole.
It is perfectly clear that apostate prophet did not commit any acts of violence. But Al-Qaradawi accuses this ex-Muslim of causing corruption in the land by spreading atheism. Al-Qaradawi believes the death penalty is appropriate.
As for hatred, as found in the Quran, this is our obligation. If you do not hate the opponents of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have no faith. Go find yourself a church, go find yourselves a synagogue, but the place for you is not a masjid. If you do not hate those who curse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and who insult him.
It is clear to this Imam that someone who does not hate Jews is, in his opinion, not a Muslim at all and has no business being in a mosque. He or she should find themselves a church or a synagogue. In a way, he agrees with Suhaib Hoffmann. In his opinion, anti-Semitism is really not a problem for Muslims. It is an obligation. But I hardly think that Mr. Hoffmann meant it in that way. The Imam goes on to explain that the hatred of Muslims against Jews is just and logical. He then talks about dhimmis, which you also have to hate, but you are allowed to be nice to them. Dhimmis are Christians or Jews who have submitted to an Islamic regime and live in it as second-class citizens. In addition, the Imam does not even call for violence, he says, and then speaks of successful jihad. Check it out for yourself. And with all these friendly and peaceful talks that we hear from Islamic preachers, you don't have to wonder about this here anymore. Look, happened in England. Before you can watch it, you first get a warning about the content, and then this. What exactly does Mr. Hoffmann have to say on the subject of anti-Semitism?
Denn, geliebte Muslime, wir brauchen uns nicht von etwas zu distanzieren, wie dem Antisemitismus, was wir gar nicht haben.
Now, please don't tell me that the situation in Germany is better. I would like to believe that Mr. Hoffmann is not personally anti-Semitic, as long as I have no evidence to the contrary. But he cannot be so blind that he doesn't even notice the sheer and completely undisguised hatred that many Muslims have against Jews. Instead of turning a blind eye to it, he could try to do something about it.